Hi everyone, it's Lynn here from Inside Knowledge, and I'm continuing on with the theme of positive psychology. Today I'm speaking about relationships. So, relationships are really, really important because we evolved in tribes and our safety depended on other people, and that's why it's important to be connected, and that's why loneliness is actually so difficult and hard, both emotionally and physically. And often that message is really difficult for people to hear because if they're struggling already, to then hear, goodness, if you don't have good relationships, you're in trouble, that can be quite difficult to cope with because often when we're not feeling good, we do isolate ourselves and we can feel like we don't have many friends. Um, and it's not something we can remedy immediately. It's not a case of, oh, well, I'll just go and get 5 new friends at lunchtime and sort that out. Often we need to look around and consider the friends and the people that are already in our lives and look at ways that we can perhaps deepen those relationships rather than thinking we need to go out and form new friendships. So, one of the hallmarks of a positive relationship is self disclosure, and that's the ability to be able to reveal ourselves authentically. And that takes a degree of courage because sometimes the things we share may feel a bit shameful or vulnerable to us, but it's really important that we can have a really open relationship that helps us to develop trust and to go deeper than just a surface friendship where we put on a show and we try not to share the things that are really meaningful to us. A gratitude is really important when it comes to relationships. The hedonic adaptation applies to relationships as well, so we very quickly become accustomed to the good things and stop noticing them. Also, the negativity bias is in play in relationships, so we tend to be very good at picking out the things that our friends and our partners do wrong. So we need to actively focus on the good aspects. And one beautiful way of savouring our relationships and something really positive we can do is something called, oh goodness, where is it? A positive emotion portfolio. So it's a scrapbook for your relationship where you can collect old love letters, movie tickets, maybe flight tickets, some photos, a sketch, just collecting little memories and mementos of your relationship. So that's about looking back and savouring the good times. Also important to look ahead, to plan, to have a joint vision board maybe about the future that you'd like to plan together with your loved one. That's a really important aspect of a positive relationship. Interestingly enough, we talk about being a friend in need, being a friend indeed, but actually we're really good at responding to people in distress, to our friends in distress. We're really good at helping them out with advice or making them a dinner. What we're not so good at is celebrating with them their own positive news. So that's something really to cultivate because that's really important. And there are specific ways that we can communicate with people and celebrate with people that's more meaningful than just say a thumbs up or a like. But we can actually help them to savour the experience as well. So we learn about that in the course. Other thing that we look at is your character strengths. Actually encourage your partner to take the survey. And then there's a really neat thing you can do called a strengths date. So for instance, if your partner identifies their top strength as a love of learning, you might organise to go to a lecture with them at the local university or something that encourages their love of learning. It's a really fun way to build on their strengths and to feel connected and positive. Lisa Avery also identifies the two different forms of passion. There's a harmonious passion, which is kind of natural and healthy and authentic. There's also an obsessive passion. It's very external. It's about extrinsic validation. Often we have the person in our life because of how we think it makes us look. The other thing that can happen is we can lose a fundamental part of our own identity, and it's really important to retain your sense of identity within your relationship. We also go on to talk about active, passive, and both constructive and destructive communication and learning how to do that. In our exploration section, we look at a couple of YouTube clips about relationships Again, we talk about the strengths survey, the strengths state. Also encourage you to do the 3 good things exercise with someone else, because that's a really positive thing that you can do, and creating a shared vision board. So there's lots of great tips there, and there's lots of hope that we can all improve our relationships. So I hope some of those ideas have interested you. If you're interested in taking the course, you can find out more information about it on my website, insideknowledge.blog. Thanks for listening.